Hello, this is Frank Fortunato with CATEX TV. Today is Tuesday, October 25th, 2011. Interesting news on the economy. Federal Express has announced they expect to hire 9,000 seasonal workers to deal with the Christmas rush. Earnings at DuPont are up. UPS earnings are up. Earnings at Delta Airlines are up. United-Continental expects to announce earnings increases, and Caterpillar earnings are up. Home builder shares in the United States are also up as a result of President Obama's plan. It seems as if the economy is beginning to turn around despite what you're reading in the newspapers. We'll see what happens. There's a hurricane floating around. It is the 25th of October, but nevertheless, the 17th tropical storm of the season, Rina, has formed off the Honduras. It's got winds already of 75 miles per hour. It's expected to intensify by tomorrow up to 111 miles per hour, and it's going to hit Cancun, Mexico. There are some tracks suggesting that it might veer to the northeast and go towards Florida. Yesterday, we reported on Flagstone Re's plans to sell their syndicate at Lloyd's. Questions remain. Everyone's trying to get into Lloyd's right now, trying to buy a syndicate. Flagstone in 2008 purchased the Marlboro Syndicate from Warren Buffett, one of the most highly respected syndicates in Lloyd's, and now they're trying to get out. They're shutting their offices around the world in Dubai and South Africa and Puerto Rico. They've dramatically cut back on their casualty underwriting, not to mention a little bit of a question mark this leaves for Lloyd's, who recently approved their business plan, their underwriting plan. It raises more questions than it answers. David Brown, who is usually and is currently very forthright in what his responses are, is going to be on the hot seat to answer questions from shareholders. We'll be interested in the answers. The German financial regulator BaFin is increasingly worried that the insurance industry is overexposed to the banking sector. Figure that out. They've asked the German carriers to provide an exact detailed list of their investment in banks by November 7th. The regulator worries are now proof of how seriously the banking situation has become when they're asking the insurance companies for detailed lists of their bank holdings. The last time they did this, earlier this year, they found that 55% of the investments that the German insurance industry has are in banks. The broker Willis has had to cut their fiscal year outlook as U.S. operation dented third quarter performance. This is despite the fact of impressive organic growth. The group's third quarter profit of $60 million was down marginally from last year's $64 million. The 9-month result is $179 million. That's down substantially from $357 million last year. There's apparently a product called the Loan Protector Program in the United States that apparently is forcing lower revenue. In Paris, Groupama has announced the departure of CEO Jean Azima after 11 years as head of the carrier. Azima has left the group. Spokespeople have now confirmed that he's been dismissed. He's being replaced by Terry Martell. An explosion in Nairobi has hit a crowded bus stop, killing at least one person. This is the second blast in 2 days in the Kenyan capital. 2 days after word came that the United States has been warned of possible terrorism attacks as a result of reprisals after Kenyan troops entered Somalia earlier this month. And in Bangkok, despite the Prime Minister's assurances, flooding has now shut down commercial flights at the country's second biggest airport. This is the national airport, the Don Mueang Airport, used for domestic flights. Also, it was the scene of the government's federal flood control entity. The main international runway has yet to be affected by flooding in flights. A third of the country has now been inundated with water. Over 370 people have been killed, and the country is looking for another situs for their flood relief operations center. Thai Orient Airlines and Nak Air have stopped flying into both airports and the international airport effective November 1. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.